to the fact that you got to remember who you talking to here. You talking to Crunch. Crunch, all he care about is the eye test. And he care about a guy's skill set. He don't care about production. Why do you think he love Kyrie Irving so much? Right? He digs guys like that. He don't care. Production don't matter to him. What he care about is how nice you are with the peel. I said that after last season was the last year that he would be considered the best player in the league, and I thought that was it. However, I didn't think that he was going to drop to like 9, 10. No, James is still in the conversation as a top 5, top 6 player.
Yeah,
he's still
debatable.
It ain't no shame in it. He wanted to go.
Debatable.
It's not.
Yeah, top 5 is debatable. Top 10.
Hey, what's your top 5 in the league?
Steph, Jokic,
Joker, Luka, Embiid, Curry.
I got Joker.
Joker. No, Giannis, Joker, Embiid, Curry, KD.
I got Giannis, Jokic, Steph, Luka, Embiid /KD /LeBron.
Wait, KD over Kyrie?
That's a lot of slashes, bro. That's hella slashes.
KD
you got KD over Kyrie?
KD is over Kyrie.
Yes, KD is
How KD over Kyrie?
What do you mean? How?
What the fuck? What the fuck you mean? How is he over?
I know your love for Kyrie, but give us why
Kyrie.
I'm just trying to figure out why. Listen, because I was watching the playoffs last season. And I don't know if I'm tripping. No, hold on. I don't know if I'm tripping.
That was the playoffs, my bro.
That was the
playoffs. You saying that like the playoffs?
4 games compared to
bro. All right, bro.
I
seen you hoop, bro, and I know you hoop. So I seen the difference between being the number 1 option and being the number 2 option.
Hey, I got
all right. Hey, KD's burner. Let me ask you one question since you said that, bro. Because I know you hoop too, bro. Imagine you drop 39 points in the playoff game. Your teammate gets locked up, and they say that he's better than you.
What is Kyrie doing the rest of that series?
Okay, but like the reason Kyrie is able to drop 39 points, part of the reason is because KD is getting a boatload of the defensive attention.
You can say that, but you can say that, but everybody on the Celtics team already played with Kyrie, so they already know how they got to lock him up to stop him from doing all that whoopsie-doo.
Okay, so
they already know what they got to do. The defensive player of the year, Marcus Smart, was sticking Kyrie, and Kyrie hit a clutch 3 in his grill, and then KD sold the game on top of getting locked up for that whole game.
So who are you worried about? So hold on.
KD let Kyrie down.
Before the series,
Kyrie was battling the government all season. All type of stuff, staying up late all night, looking at research on the
series.
Every single night trying to listen, bro. He was, and then it came down to the wire in game 1 of the playoffs, and he was finally ready. Everything, listen, all of the work and all of the media stuff that they was doing to get Kyrie ready for the playoffs, he was ready, and KD let him down. KD played terrible.
I think Kyrie let KD down way before the playoffs, though.
No, he didn't. I would let him down.
But I have a question. Who are you more worried about going into that series? Who you putting your best defensive player on?
Blake Griffin.
I can tell you who we not putting our best defensive player on. We ain't putting him on Irv. I bet you that.
Thank you.
But listen.
Who's winning a series more than likely? Who's gonna fuck around and win this series?
Joe Harris.
Kyrie hit the clutch 3.
He said Joe Harris.
Kyrie hit the clutch 3. Hold on. Kyrie hit the clutch 3, and you just asked me who I'm going to put my best defensive player on. It's going to be Kyrie because that best defensive player is Marcus Smart. If you don't believe me, he just won the defensive player of the year. He just won the defensive player of the year.
Okay.
So he's the best defensive player on the team. But no, I did
defensive player of the year, no doubt about that. That's tricky.
I expected KD to
defensive player
go
of the year
off.
is tricky.
What he showed me was that he got locked up.
Chilltown. Who was number 1? Who was number 1 before they got hurt though?
Hey man, I got.
That's true. Booker was number 1 before KD got hurt.
No, I'm talking about Depoy. Who was number 1 in Depoy league?
The defensive player of the year? I thought it was Giannis.
Oh, it was Rob Williams before he got hurt.
Oh,
I got a question about another 2-man, man. What y'all think them 2 men in LA gonna do, man? Kawhi and PG. What y'all think they gonna do?
Up.
They're sweeping the Nuggets the first round
in the playoffs.
You said show up.
Show up. Play games.
All right.
Don't get hurt.
Playoffs.
They're going to the finals, and they're gonna lose in 6 to the Sixers.
The Clippers are going to the finals. Okay.
And they're losing it 6 to the Sixers. Yes.
He said losing in 6.
They're losing it 6 to the
Sixers.
Nah, bro,
Hey,
it's gonna be.
I'm not gonna hijack your live because you got a lot of good stuff going on here. My man KD though, he got to explain to me about. He said I told him when I saw him that we was gonna have this conversation about Jabbar not making the playoffs in his prime. You got to explain. You only told me some of the story. You completely left out huge parts of the story when you said that though.
The thing is, I know I don't really judge players like that, but like people on TikTok, they say things like blah blah blah, this, that, and the third. LeBron James did make the playoffs, this, that, and the third. So I kind of use logic that I hear on TikTok and I make videos.
They be casual.
Right. And just so you know, that year when Jabbar, they didn't make the playoffs, the year before that, he basically got on Oklahoma City. They was at the bottom of the Western Conference the year before he got on the crew. And they were one game out of making the playoffs. Not only were they one game out of making the playoffs the year he got on the crew, the reason why Milwaukee made the playoffs, who the Lakers had a better record than, by the way, they were in a different division and they were higher in the division, which is why they made the playoffs and the Lakers didn't make the playoffs. Add that to the fact that 2 years later, they were in the Western Conference Championship. So I want you to imagine Joker getting on Oklahoma City, and in 2 years they're in the Western Conference Championship. Basically with that crew. That's what Jabbar did.
Oh, no, I think Jabbar is better than Jokic, clearly.
I just want to put that out there.
The thing about Kareem...
Yeah, Jabbar was easily the best player in the league, even when he didn't make the playoffs. I understand that.
Was he better than Pistol Pete?
I just like using logic that I hear on TikTok because it's just funny.
Was he better than Pistol Pete, though?
Who?
No. Don't bring him up. Don't bring.
I'm just asking.
Who?
Pistol
Pete
overrated. Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
But OG, look though.
Logic about Pistol Pete. I'm not sure Pistol Pete was better than David Thompson. I'm not sure he was better than George Gervin. I'm not sure.
Pistol Pete dropped 60 points with no 3-point line.
Yes, he did. Yeah. Absolutely.
OG.
But the guys that you just named, they was nice though.
And David Thompson dominated when you couldn't dunk the basketball. So.
No, you know.
I got a question. Hold up. I got a question for OG because Crunch been pissing me off lately with this whole. He's been saying that Pistol Pete is better than John Stockton. Now, what's your take on that?
No,
Pistol Pete was a showman. That's what he was. More than anything. Pistol Pete was a showman. He couldn't care. He couldn't care less about winning. What he cared about was the show.
So let me ask you this.
He did not play winning basketball. Add that to the fact that you got to remember who you talking to here. You talking to Crunch. Crunch, all he care about is the eye test. And he cares about the guy's skill set. He don't care about production. Why do you think he loved Kyrie Irving so much? Right? Big guys like that. He don't care. Production don't matter to him. What he care about is how nice you are with the peel. It don't matter that the dude has 6 turnovers and they ended up losing. Nah, he don't care about that.
Hey, look, he averaged 40 at LSU. That's not production.
There you go. And
at LSU,
I'm glad. Not 40.
Yo, Crunch, bring up Bob Cousy.
He averaged 30.
Bob Cousy was that guy.
Game for his career in the SEC. Averaged 36.
Hey, Chilltown. So I got. What you think about? Because look, I got Bob Cousy over Chris Paul. What you think about that?
Easy.
Based on what?
Based on everything, all things considered.
Easy.
He got 6 championships. He has 6 championships. He's arguably a better passer, if not, like the same level passer. If you look at the eye test, because I'm looking at the eye test last in this situation, his highlights wasn't bad. So what did Chris Paul do? What did Chris Paul do that was so much better than Bob Cousy and Pistol Pete for that matter?
Pulls his hamstring every year in the playoffs.
Okay, Chris Paul. Pistol Pete is crazy.
Pulls his hamstring.
Pistol Pete was nice.
Go ass. Listen,
like Chris Paul has no championship to show for anything, bro.
He doesn't show up. He doesn't show up for closeout games. He's consistently choked 3-1 leagues, and he's a choker. He's a choke artist.
We could stop that logic right there because I think he had 30 in the closeout game against Denver.
Chris Paul is a choker.
He had 38 against them, so we can dead that logic right there. And by the way, they swept Denver. They swept Denver in the closeout game. I believe in that playoff run when they played against the Clippers in the Western Conference Championship. I think he had what he had 36 in the closeout game.
No, yeah, 40.
I'm sorry. Was it 40? Okay, so that logic about him consistently not showing up. No, that's not true. So we can dead that logic right there.
I'm talking about Bob as in not showing up, as in not being there for his team, whether that's his poor play or him being on the court. And he showed that Listen.
Like,
I said either his poor play or him not being on the court.
But what
and there's
poor
been so,
play?
Listen. Or I mean, he dropped 10 points and had a negative plus minus in Game 7 last year. But if that's good play, by any means.
I mean,
But
you're talking about
so
a
many times
37-year-old Chris Paul.
we can count. I think it goes off our hands the amount of times that Chris Paul has missed the playoffs due to injury. At some point, we got to be like, damn, that he's just unreliable in the playoffs, and that's just
I
a fact.
have a problem with that. That logic right there, I can get with. That logic.
That's just a fact. There's so many times where
no, the injury you got me with, but you said that he doesn't show up.
I said it's either his poor play or him not being on the court. Last year he was on the court, was he not?
I would go with
and
the
he did not play good.
Yeah,
the injuries more.
The injuries more.
He be ducking smoke.
The logic that you dropping with the injuries,
he be ducking
smoke. That logic. I don't know about.
Yeah, like the poor play is so blown out of proportion. Like if you want to get on Chris Paul not showing up at like 37 years old, then okay. When in reality is Devin Booker the one who needs to be showing up. He's the one who
and DeAndre Ayton too.
Yeah, if we're doing that, then okay. But like,
but the only
most
thing
of the
is
time,
they try to get
CP3 plays well in the playoffs.
They try
like
to give
you said,
him
the
all
injuries.
the
I can
MVP
give
credit
you the injuries. I can't say anything about the injuries.
Yeah,
so they try to give Chris Paul all of the MVP credit though.
I mean, that's what
they try to say that he's the MVP
of
the team. He's a leader.
This is what Chris Paul.
They were saying if he was to win a championship, then he was top 5.
Every team he's went to. Clippers
zero
rings. Rockets 0 rings. The Suns
rings
still up in the air, but still 0 rings.
Suns ain't making it out the second round.
Allen Iverson.
They might lose to the Clippers or the Warriors. That's not a.
They gonna lose to whoever they play. Shit.
Oh God. Hey, look, you was about to say Allen Iverson has no rings, but look at his stats. See, another thing about Chris Paul is he has an average. He's a 4-time.
What's that?
No, listen.
He's a 4-time scoring champion.
Right,
and
he's
MVP, and led the league in steals twice.
The 4-time scoring champion on the worst efficiency of all time. So,
but he's still a 4-time scoring champion.
You gotta get a bucket by
he's still a 4-time
scoring champion out of any scoring champion of all time.
He's still a 4-time scoring champion. He's still a 4-time scoring champion. He's still a 5-time All NBA player. He's still He still led the league in steals like 2 times. So what do you mean? What is whoop-de do? What is whoop-de-do?
Because
what he's a scoring champion. You just said name what Allen Iverson done, not just sat there and name you.
You
said whoop-de-do. That makes no sense.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave you to it.
All right, see you.
All right, Chill Town. Hey, Chill Town. Oh damn. Hey, Chill Town. You still right there? Tell you in the ticket. I said what's up.
You act like